Hello everyone, welcome on in and happy Monday. I hope everyone has had a okay day today. And that we are all ready to get into the storytelling of what happens
Yes.
after you purge a demon from a possessed sword. I seriously was about to turn my head towards the door. Damn it. It's just me and Andy here. And I was like, huh?
Nothing.
Thank
Not
you for
evil.
the bits though.
Mostly evil.
But yes, okay, quickly. Music you're listening to right now is The Black Cat by Aaron Kenny. You can find it over at the YouTube library of royalty-free music. Music and sound effects during the game will be by Sirenscape. Overlay, starting soon screen, map, and character stat block things were made by me in Incarnate. Character art was made by Nathan, who is unfortunately not here today, but you can still check out his cool stuff over on the his YouTube channel, or in our Discord, because we have one of those where he tends to post a bunch of stuff. If you want to catch up with what we have been talking about, you can do what Lillith just did and do the YouTube things. I posted the latest 8 Coins episode earlier today. Tomorrow will be the Obojima adventure going up. And then possibly on Thursday will be this VOD, the VOD of this session. And some more short shenanigans. I'm hoping to make the door episode on Thursday, so, you know.
Have you found all of the references to
I have
Door?
not, so that's why I'm saying I'm hoping to do that. Probably will do something else, because there are a lot of references to the door.
Well, that is adorable.
Pain. And if you want to see what you can do to help or hinder the party, you can do what Lillith just did and type in !perks in the chat.
Yeah, we're watching you, Tony. I know you're saving up for that 100,000.
Yes, and I actually looked up a list of... Well, I have boss monsters written down for Tears of Play. So, I even have maps ready to go for it. I might have too much free time and not enough at the same time, because I think it was Matt Mercer said I don't have free time anymore. I like to fill it with bullshit. And work I make for myself. Anywho, let's go around the table and introduce our players and then get a recap and all of that stuff. Let's start with Andy.
Yes, I think that's me.
Yes.
I believe it is. I think it is. I imagine it is. I was convinced it was me. It was me who portrays Andy in everyday situations such as this morning. So when male honeybees orgasm, their penises explode with an audible pop. And when winter comes, worker bees, which are all female, kick the male bees out to die in the cold, because they do nothing other than mate with the queen, and the queen can make more, even if she's new and unmated. And so that also means that drones doesn't have a father, but they do have a grandfather.
I think you nearly killed your missus there, Carnis. She had a mouthful at the exact moment you started talking about bees' penises.
I have coffee in my sinuses.
I know there's a YouTuber that has a unit of measurement that is a bee's dick, by the way, meaning very, very small.
And I will be portraying Craren, the slightly deranged illusionist wizard.
I have coffee in my sinuses now.
Funny.
This kind of thing that tends to happen if you're trying to not spit coffee all over your keyboard and not choke it down as well, you know?
No, you just need
The-
to relax your throat and breathe through your nose, and you'll be fine.
Or
Maybe
you
I just killed her.
walk into Andy's room and spray all over the back of his neck.
There are words that
going to
could be
say
had
anything.
right
Nope.
now.
Well, I tried to find my mind somewhere in the gutter. Lillith, who you playing?
This is a mature game, folks.
If you're on the age under 18, get the fuck out.
Yes, please leave if you're under the age of 18. Just no.
Right now, just walk to the door.
Yes. Bye bye.
Oh, you
No.
stupid cat.
But no, Ardana doesn't have a gag reflex, so that's not a problem.
Get out of my food.
Okay, sorry.
Information the entire
Sorry.
internet did not need to know. Lillith, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Lillith, or Lily. I'm playing Flo, Bleakwood, the Satyr / Bark / Whoopsie. I beat you, Whoopsie.
Oh, no.
If
I
you want me to
think
come with if you want me to come with like bee notes, all I know about bees is that they have 2 pair of wings and that they have 5 eyes. That's all I know about them. And that they're yellow and black. That's all I know.
I'm
Oh, dear.
okay. Terris.
I will say that the idea never was for this to be a trivia section.
It
and
just
it's
happened
me
that
spewing
way.
words. And it just happened. And yes.
Maybe I can mark this
I
as
can
educational
remember
on
you
YouTube.
listening.
Maybe.
Oh, apparently the chat on Twitch is emote only at the moment. Ardana.
No, I disabled that. What the fuck? Emote only off.
Okay, it's off.
Yeah, it's turned off.
And now it's on. And now it's off. Now it's subscriber only, and now it's off.
I turned both of them
Yeah,
off.
Okay. Jason was having some problems. Jason, can you post, please? There we go. He has speech again.
We had a similar issue on Saturday. I know one of my other mods, Kate, had to like spam the chat with it.
Oh, no.
Yay! Terris, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I am Terris, your friendly neighborhood ferret. And the first record of honey harvesting is in a cave painting from 6,000 to 8,000-year-old caves in Spain. I am playing Oren Weaver, the albino drow bard, and his menagerie of animals that he just throws out of a bag from time to time. And that is all.
All right.
Yeah.
Psycole.
Hi, I am Psycole. I will not be providing any bee-based facts because I am already the bee's knees. Anyway.
They have 6 of those.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
This session just ended.
I'm so glad I have 3 combat encounters already prepared to go.
No.
Right, yes, sorry. So I am the bee's knees, and
I poked my eye.
tonight I will be playing Romulus Daldorn, the only half of the Kalashtar twins that we have available tonight, who is a barbarian and, yes, is willing and waiting to smack more shit.
Death to all of them.
All right. I also realized that I probably just poked
Yourself in the eye.
painkiller gel into my eye, so that's something
Oh,
that
no.
might happen.
Bad enough when you get deep heat on your hands and you go to the toilet. It's
Did that once. I've done it more than once, but
Tiger bomb.
Tiger Bomb. Yes, that one actually worse.
Oh, there's a particular. So hold on a minute. Now that we're on this, there's a particular shower gel in the UK.
No, so I put this one on my arm because it hurts, and now I realized I didn't wash my hands, and I just poked my eye.
Original sauce, mint and tea tree flavor.
Yes, I sat in a bath that I'd put that in without thinking, and not only did my front area go insanely sad at the back. No, it was no.
Please
Let's
don't.
just say it's.
I stroke.
Yes. Oh, it burns.
I
It burns
stroke.
sensitive areas.
Hi, Joe. Who are you?
I love
Sorry.
the timing of my players, that where they manage to just talk about these things just as I have coffee in my mouth. At
It's
least
your choice to have coffee while
yeah,
doing
at
this.
least now the coffee's out. So, you know,
It doesn't
hi.
vibe warm liquids.
Well, this is far from warm. But anyway, hi, I am Joe, or Ardana, or you there, since Lillith is right over there. I am the GM and Channel Runner around these parts, and if anyone has any notions that the GM is in charge of the players, just watch these streams, and you can see how wrong you are. For me,
You're supposed to be in charge of us?
there are people who claim that.
Delusional.
I think I've never played D&D.
No. It's like the GM is like cranking up like the old timey crank on that roller coaster, and then grabbing onto the back of the cart and hanging on for dear life. That's what the GM is. It's just while the
Wow.
players do their best to get the cart off the rails and flying into the stratosphere. This
That's
Yes.
D&D. Yes.
Yeah, that's D&D. And then you hope that you land somewhere in the general vicinity of the plot.
I normally
That's
just hope
yeah.
I land.
Yeah.
And don't lion cacti?
Yes,
Or accidentally in a dragon's lair?
that too. Although I'm a little bit sad that you didn't actually get into the Dragon's Lair, 'cause that could have been funny. But now I get to take
Water.
that encounter and just plop it somewhere else in the campaign. But yes, if we are all as comfortable as we are going to get, let's get started.
Man.
Cityscape, can you work for me? Of course not.
Turn
Well-
skip.
Wait, would you? What?
Turn.
There we go.
Skip. Skip. I'm fine. Shh, it's
Nope,
fine.
that was last week's. There we are. The surge of the magical force still hurt your throat and chest. The power set your nerves ablaze, and you knew that you could turn the whole room to twitching cinders, Remus. You could scorch demon and ally alike, burn the drapes and shed the couches and pillows into dust. You have the certainty, resting in your bones, that rest and recovery won't find you for many more hours, not to be found until the lure of the adrenaline has been sated. You barely felt the blue flames of light as you threw it on Lunette, barely noticed it on your skin. With the demoness fell in the room, rapidly catching flames, you can taste your heartbeat at the back of your torn throat. The blue-white flames are spreading fast through the fabrics of the room, bathing the stone brick floor in ozone-scented blue light. blood stains on your chest. Blood stains your chest, and you can feel that voice in the back of your mind, somewhere from dreams you're not supposed to have, urging you to find a way out before the light tears you all from the world, long before you can taste that fiery breath again. What do you do?
I quickly survey the room. We've already gathered up the remnants of Lynette's armor and weapons.
Mm-hmm.
He stows as many of that on him as he can and rushes over to Romulus,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of bodily picks him up.
Yep. You can see
given that he's
he's looking like a bit dazed at the moment. And very hurt.
So he's effectively got Romulus in his arms. He's got whatever the chest weasel was called.
Elos.
On his Elos, that's it. Wrapped around his neck, having rescued him. And he'll basically turn to Craren and to Orin and say, I hope one of you two can get us out of here.
What is this thing?
Oh. I mean, probably.
Plausibly.
Today, before we all burn to death? Be a good idea?
Let's see. What have I got?
I mean, we landed in the pool. I'm going to assume let's call it the pool.
Yeah.
We landed in the soup, and we might as well exit through the soup.
I mean, I can longly stride you.
More of a if that was the place we entered, I'm going to assume that that's the place where we're leaving. Not knowing that for a fact, that's my assumption.
Yeah. Well, let's try and pop through. And if anything, tries to get in the way, I'll have it smacked. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect. So he'll basically carry Romulus and Elos and all of the shit down to the pool.
What's that thing?
What, this thing?
Yeah.
That was Carnis' summon.
Oh, I'm the dumb.
Okay.
Yes. I forgot to do the recap thing. So, let's do the recap thing.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do the recap.
What did we do last time?
Last time, 2 seconds.
Our intrepid heroes.
It helps.
Last time, we came across some towers in the forest. In the forest. Flo did not like the sound or the smell, and was not particularly impressed with the weird dripping fluid that was coming from the towers and how totally disgusting it was. We continued to drip feed our secrets to the lovely Flo about the fact that there was a demon in the sword, and that was why we were here. Flo was not particularly impressed. At that point in time, we had a brief flashback sequence where Orin spent some time with the sword to do some identification work, realised that it is probably it's made from a dragon shard but lost its power due to not being used, and the binding of Lynette the demon to it corrupted it, which is why it is being as bad as it is now. However, removing said curse should hopefully start to awaken its power and make it good again. We are Remus and Flo flipped for the privilege of trying to get into said tower, only for the tower to open just as Flo runs towards the door, and some weird multi-armed creature expresses astonishment at our entrance.
You forgot to tell that they're very handy.
That's the start of the next sentence. Flo makes comment to Remus that they look quite handy because they are multi-armed creatures. We all enter.
My soul.
Quarren realizes that the teleportation circle in the middle is some sort of lift mechanism. We have a brief conversation with the creatures, who confirms that Mourning is home and that we should go upstairs to find him. We progress to the 3rd floor, which is full of weird growths and weirdly neat beds and breakfast materials. I'm not going to repeat that line.
Oh,
There's a specific comment in my notes that says, Oren has been sucked by more unusual things than this tower. And I can't quite remember the context, but I think I can understand.
it's fine.
As we are looking around, there is suddenly a growth coming from the floor, and Mourning makes his appearance. Quarren is introduced. Yes, what do you want?
You, obviously.
Quarren is introduced, and he basically introduces each other to Mourning, and a deal is struck. Oren will provide his a vial of blood and a hair from his head in exchange for the removal of the curse. And then Oren does a further bit of negotiation that involves losing the tip of his pinky to send Giral home, the rider we encountered in the previous session before that.
Yes.
Quarren discusses Mourning's excommunication, and Mourning starts the spell to remove Lynette from the sword, only to become suddenly scared as Lynette decides it's time to come out to play. We are transported to our current realm in a sphere of darkness, where we have to basically fight our way through. There is a brilliant spell cast by Oren in reaction to Lynette's taunting that zips her mouth shut. That means that she is unable to cast any spells. And yeah, lots of fighting, lots of stabbing ensued. Lots of healing of Romulus because he kept
Bleeding out.
falling down. And at a certain point in time, Flo decides to help move Romulus and bites him.
Just a nibble.
Only a little one.
Just a tiny tad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we conclude the fight. Lynette melts into the floor. We gather her daggers, her dagger gauntlet thingies, and her bone armor. And I believe Quarren has her helmet. And we stand in a room starting to burn as we attempt to escape.
Yes, you can have a point of inspiration for that. And yes, it got a little bit awkward because I forgot to do the recap. But yes, you can have a point of inspiration from that. And you are currently standing next to the fountain with skeletons and
A
blood in
recap,
it.
or is it a retro cap at that point?
Retro cap. Whee! It's a retro recap.
Yes.
But yes, Remus, you're standing by the fountain, looking at the chained up skeletons and the remnants of red in the water. What are the rest of you doing?
Oren is trying to figure out how to get everyone back out of here and somewhere safe.
Yeah, Crown is just casually entering the tunnel because this is where we emerged.
All right.
Yes.
As you're stepping onto into the fountain, you feel that your feet don't submerge. You're walking on top of the surface of this kind of this liquid. It kind of looks like diluted blood. It's a very
Shiny.
like faint pinkish color, like blood mixed with a lot of water.
Huh.
Is that all? Is there some insight that can be gained from this?
As you're standing there, Karen, looking at the water,
Because Craren is not the blood whisperer.
no, you look around a lot, and you can see like the blue-white flames start reflecting in this water surface, and in the reflection, you can see like to the east and west of the where you're standing right now. You have these two framed like niches, or what would that be called? Like doorways that are made out of marble, and you can see these drapes that connect to them. And in the reflection of the fountain, you see a shimmering in these openings. But when you look up, there's no shimmering there.
It doesn't let me ping.
So this one
Yeah.
and this one.
Don't ask me why, but you know, that yes. I wonder. Craren says, if you get over here, Warren, just
Yeah.
comfort with, just bear with me for a second. If you look over there, just not like that. Through this thing, where the thing I'm standing on.
Okay.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing, or am I just hallucinating things? Does that look like it? It looks different in the fountain.
Does it look different to me in the fountain?
Yeah, at first when you step foot on the surface, you see the ripples, but as soon as the ripples clear away, you can see this effect of these two doorways shimmering in some form of like almost like a heat mirage. But when you look up at it, they're just empty doorways with like a white marble backing.
Now, where are these doors exactly?
So one is there, and one
This guy.
there.
Okay, well, I suppose we try and walk through the door. Come on.
Is there anything special with the door? Is it just
Okay,
trying
okay.
to push a
Craren?
arm through? Yes.
Craren, wait. Okay. Before someone goes on running through, let's
Toss
this
a
is
pillow
not okay.
Did they mention the door loudly?
through. No.
Oh.
See, I was thinking we don't
Well, I mean,
talk.
the more of it, that thing. I'm not sure if one of us has used the word door yet. More of that thing over there, because no one is really sure, other than the DM, that it's an actual door yet. Actually, we don't know that.
I was thinking rather than a pillow. 1, 2, 3. We throw a jackal through. Yeah.
That's entirely fair. I mean, we have while you're at it, you also have a tiny fake creature we could send through.
Oh,
But let's
yeah.
do
Why don't we
both.
throw yours? Well, okay. First of all, let's throw yours through this one, and he's going to sort of crochet a chain and tie it around the fey creature, and then I'm going to hold the end, and you toss. Okay.
That's
so I
entirely
can
fair.
pull it. I can pull it back.
And a 1, and a 2, and a yeet.
Why
Alright.
is my creature
Hold on.
suddenly?
Oblong and now small.
I forgot to set both dimensions, so it kind of went squish. But yes. So you're
Anorexic
throwing.
jackal. Got it.
You're
You
throwing.
mean much like it would have done in the event that this door is a wall.
Yes. So you throw the fake creature at the archway.
In the hopes that it's not an archway, and yes.
And you hear a thump as it hits the wall of it and just glares at you for a moment.
That did not work.
Okay. So maybe that's because it's an unwilling creature, and he's just going to go, undoes the chain. You hold one end, and I'm going to try and run through.
That's entirely fair. I'm holding it.
And one moment, he's going to take a few steps back, and then gallop, thunk.
There's no doorway there. Please roll me a dexterity save.
Dex save. I know how to dex save. Where is my character sheet? Ouch, my rib.
Online.
Yes, clearly. Cool. Dexterity save.
Yes. You
Would
managed.
23 be good?
You managed to, like, right before slamming into the wall, you realize that this is not going well, and you bump into the marble backing of this archway, taking only 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you were running full tilt into it.
Carnis, while this is happening and is moving around, can he wet his fingers on this so-called water
Yeah, absolutely. You can put your fingers in.
and sprinkle that onto what could be a doorway?
Yep. You sprinkle the water on it and you see this shimmering pass, but quickly. And for a brief
Did
moment...
you just see that, Oren?
Oh, hang on, I'm dying.
Please
where's my
don't.
inhaler? Where the fuck is my inhaler?
I can't answer that one.
Hang on. Sorry. I can breathe. I'm trying not to cough up a lung while I do so. He's going to go, I think that maybe, this guy's a little weird, the guy that runs this place. Huh.
You could say that, yeah.
He's going to cut his palm open and stick his palm on the doorway.
Don't do that. Yeah, you do that, and you see a bloody palm print on the doorway. Nothing happens.
Ow.
Okay. Is there a vessel small that we can fill with this water and splash on the door?
I got a water skin.
But the water from is it the water or is it a fountain? I don't know.
Claren.
Yes.
Claren. I have a water skin, and he's going to hold it up and open it and tip the water out and then hand it to you. If I get
Claren is
thirsty,
now-
I'm using yours.
That's entirely fair. And Carnis is now going to fill said water skin with water from the fountain
All right.
and use that to splash onto the wall.
All right. You splash the water from the fountain onto the archway, and you see as the waters drip down, it forms a shape of a like a sheet, and through it you can see various like different moving things. It's kind of hard to tell. It's almost like you're trying to watch the bottom of a pond through rippling water.
And Craren stick his hand through the wall now, through the water, because this seems magical.
Yes, you stick your hand through, and you don't see it on the other side.
Fair. Oren, this seems a lot more passable now.
Yeah.
So,
So,
Oren,
now we go.
before we,
Okay.
so guys, if this is a door, and points to the door behind him, that one on the other hand, on the other end, should also be a door. Now, I've
Yeah.
sprinkled the water on this one. I sprinkled some water onto this one, and it seems to be working. Do you care to apply your usual strategy on the other door, just as test?
I think I would rather get out of this burning hellscape.
I feel like you're judging.
I may have started the fire. I would like you to get us out of the fire.
I'd
By
just
all
like to point
means.
out that we didn't start the fire.
No, I am admitting fault. However, it would be nice if the two brain people get us out of the weird magical realm we have
two
got
brain
ourselves
people?
into.
What two brain people?
I don't know. I'm sure you must think with at least one of your brains.
Craren has the brain.
I'm
I have the pretties.
not necessarily referencing the one in your cranium.
Oh, yeah, I think with the other one, almost exclusively.
Yes, exactly.
And now, before we burn to death, let's walk, and before the door dries up again, let's walk through it. Please,
Yeah, come
and
on.
thank you.
I immediately shuffle over with Romulus and
Yoink.
try to pass through said door once it's shimmering.
All right.
And blop.
Door.
All right. All of
Be up.
you take a
That's it.
step through.
Can we get a whoosh?
Whoosh.
Whoosh.
All of you
Whoosh.
step through this doorway one by one, and you find yourselves back in a familiar space.
All around me are familiar spaces.
Yes. Familiar faces even. And
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Remus, as you're carrying Romulus through, you see, like, as you step out, you can see his face just go completely slack for a brief moment, and then he shakes his head, still dazed.
And confused?
Mostly because I'm not role-playing that character, because I don't know how. But he seems a lot more stable.
Good. He kind of shifts him so he's easier to carry, like an over-the-shoulder kind of approach, and then he'll kind of whisper to Elos and just say, "I know you. I don't like you, but keep an eye on him, please."
All right. Okay, I can do that.
Good.
You're friends. I take care of my friends.
Good.
And as you step into the top of Mordane's tower once again, you see the wizard himself standing over by what looks like a wooden... it's not a crate. Cage. Looking at all of you, like from one person to the next, one of his eyes slightly lazy. The elf-looking eye moving faster. And just... I see you made it through. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now,
To you in the first place.
I'm sorry?
No, you said you made it through, and I said, but yes, and what's that to you in the first place?
Well, you just vanished as the lady appeared. And now you're back.
That's
Nigh on... Well, not even 10 minutes later. And
Yes, she gone.
She gone?
She gone.
Shame, really.
Set her up and shut her down.
Oh. I never had a conversation with her, so I don't know.
Good.
Other than she asked, along with silence, to be put in the sword.
Oh.
But well, you are welcome to stay for a while, should you wish.
Well, we've got someone that's a little bit, I guess you'd say, under the weather right now. And I believe you and we had another deal that we had to get through.
Now,
Yes.
Oren.
Yeah?
Just hang on a moment. I just let me things.
All right.
I will try to do words. Yes. So, Morden, you know what would tie this place together?
Sinew?
A medium-sized dragon skull for a good centerpiece in your bathroom ensuite.
I'm listening. Do you have a
You
dragon?
could use it just as a decoration, or cut the top off and it make for an excellent bathtub.
Oh.
Now, hold that thought for a moment and let me make you an offer you can't refuse. How about you do not further liberate parts or Morin, and I arrange for this magnificent centerpiece to you. Dragon skulls are difficult to come by, you know. Here, have my calling card. Well, you've been here for a while. Sending with all its quirks is so last century. Now we use these calling cards, we call them. It's nothing special, really. And his Cryon is going to hand over what looks like a blank white piece of paper. They work by infusing magical ink with a little blood from a newt. You write your message and then expose it to the sun. You will need a blue scrying candle to read it again, however. But I digress. At your convenience, send off the message and one of my representatives will be in touch with you.
All right. Calling cards. Interesting. Anything else you feel like offering?
Is there anything in particular you're interested in?
There's so many things I am interested in.
That I know, but without...
All of your special abilities, perhaps? I mean, you as a group.
Now, how about we start there? You do not take further pieces of Oren, and we'll work from that point. How does that sound?
Should I take a piece of you instead?
I wasn't suggesting, but
Eh,
without.
I've worked on elves before. It's kind of dull. You are, like I mentioned, welcome to stay in the second floor if you want. Well, the middle floor between here and there. Or, and as for our deal,
Yeah.
I'll unbind this Strider from my service.
Okay.
And should this offer your high elven friend has given me satisfied a deal, I will not take your offer. Should it not satisfy, well, our deal was for your payment after services rendered.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. It's just a pinky.
Right.
And on top of it, only the tip and only for a minute.
Yeah.
Now, I can see that one of you is out for the count, another one of you has been badly hurt, and all of you smell a little bit like lightning.
Oh, yeah, your thing's on fire.
Not my problem. There's no fire
Okay.
here. You are welcome to go one floor down, find us anywhere you want to rest there, or leave if you should wish. I'm not going to stop you. I have what I wanted for now. But
Now, Craren is going to mutter to Oren, who's just happened to stand next to him, that maybe we should rest here because I feel that we're not going to get too far out of the woods. This took a while, and we could use the rest at a place where people are not actively trying to eat us.
Yeah, I could also use. Well, I wouldn't call myself tapped, but I've healed a lot of people. Well, the same person a lot of times today.
You guys muttering to yourself, and Remus kind of mentally connects with you because he's trying to keep the strong, silent kind of thing going in front of Mordain. Can we just get out of here? This place creeps the fuck out.
So, player question: How
Yes.
long have we been here, and how?
You have been here for about, I'd say, half an hour total at this point. It's
at that point,
late
we
afternoon.
should be able to exit the forest before it eats us.
It took you about 3 hours of walking through the forest to get to this point. So, and it's late afternoon, you can get out of the forest the same way you came in. But it's going to be pushing it. You can also walk straight east, but it's longer through the forest.
So my suggestion stands. It's a bit of a trek through the forest. We can do that. Or
I wouldn't want to be out there at night.
That's entirely fair, Oren. How do you feel, Remus?
I mean, I would prefer to get out of here, but if you guys are not comfortable with the idea of trying to go through the forest,
Okay.
and
so
providing the two of you will stay awake to make sure that Mordain does not fuck with any of us, yes.
Yeah, we can sleep in
fine.
shifts again. But
Yeah,
mate, look, I just wanna point it out, okay? You're not nocturnal. You're not a nocturnal creature. I am. And I know that the nasty shit comes out at night. And in a forest like that, that's real fucking nasty shit. Because, that Drider, he was a diurnal thing. He was out during the day. Can you imagine what's out at night if he's wandering around during the day? Like, nah.
Presumably something with less eyes and more legs.
Yeah, like,
Or
I
the other way
am
around.
not at the top of the food chain in that forest. And I am aware of it. Even though I am a predatory creature by nature.
Fine.
I don't care if you stay or leave, you just can't be in my workshop now. Toodaloo.
Oh, but I kind of wanted to touch everything.
Feel free, you're just gonna leave bits of yourself everywhere.
Oh, nah, it's fine, really. If only I had a mage hand.
Although if you want to leave some of your companions up here for a sample or two.
I can leave you my jackal, but he'll be gone at dawn.
No, I was looking at your friends. And you see him looking from Remus to Romulus to Flo and back again to you. Oren?
I'm going to say this as nicely as I possibly can, okay? And I don't want you to take it the wrong way. I'm not trying to be mean or crass or anything like that. But you're going to keep your grubby mitts off my friends. I'm freely giving you bits of me. I've freely given you bits of me. These people, they don't want any part of that. And in this group, we value consent.
It is a
Alright.
lot more fun when they are willing.
Now, I can give you half a dozen more of my hairs if you can guarantee us that you're not going to try and cut bits off them if they go to sleep.
Fine.
It's just hair. I don't mind.
If nothing else, me trying to force you to do something, all of you, will probably just destroy my workshop. And I don't want
And,
that.
My fingernails, they could use some clipping, manicure, pedicure, whatever you want, but within reason. Nothing that's going to cause me pain or disfigure me.
No, it's
Semen
fine.
But
sample.
you
Just
yeah, all of that, you just leave the rest alone. The rest of them alone, all right?
I already have samples of you. If I try to take anything by force from any of you, you will just destroy my workspace.
I will Eldritch
So-
Blast the most fucking delicate-looking thing I can find in your room if you touch any of them, all right?
That was my point. So please, you are allowed to stay in the floor just below this one. I will not touch you for fear of you wrecking my things.
Okay.
But please,
Now, do you want
leave.
help cleaning up this place because it's a little bit messy?
No, I know where everything is. Do not touch it.
Oh, I won't move anything, but I can clean up some dust.
It's fine.
Okay.
Now leave.
Okay. How?
The teleportation thing. And
Teleportation
second-
thing.
Oh,
Yes.
Just think one floor down. You can stay there.
And
Yeah, he's going to bodily pick up his jackal and hop into the thing.
All right,
And
let
take one
me
floor down.
move you.
So this jackal is just probably like, what?
And before leaving, Carnis just looking over at Borden because these, offers just being made, things of the sort. And it's like, yes. Now, how does it feel to be only the second most wanted person in this tower?
I like you, wizard.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot to discuss, I think. But not tonight.
And maybe not tonight, but over time, yes.
Now I have work to do, so please.
I will. And whoop.
Okay, let me. Where the fuck did Craren go?
Craren is here.
Oh, there you are. There you go. All right, Flo, Remus, what are you doing? Following suit, or are you?
Yes.
Let me move
Yeah.
you.
Flo is like nudging, still in wolf form, like nudging Remus to like go.
All right. So all of you land on the second floor, the one that you bypassed earlier. And nope, let me. Okay. And you find yourselves in an equally dusty and just kind of gross space, but filled with like phosphorescent mushrooms along the walls. A bunch of crates and large containers that seem to be having everything from food items to clothing items to random assortment of skeletal parts to vials of weird stuff. In the middle of the floor, you see a gigantic skeleton of something that once upon a time had tusks. But it's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is. It looks like someone tried to cross a beetle with an elephant and failed.
A belephant?
Yes, a belephant. But out of the walls, you see these mushrooms that seem to grow from the crystalline structures, and they're glowing slightly in the I wouldn't say darkness in here, but it's dim light. Let me.
So you said there were a bunch of clothes, though, right?
Yes.
Would there be enough for Oren to make a sort of nest for everybody out of them?
Yeah, I'd say so. You can gather together enough to make it somewhat comfortable, at least, so you won't have to roll out your bedrolls and stuff.
So yeah, he would definitely attempt that. Oh my hip. That's better.
Where did Remus go? Oh, there. But yeah, you find this room is slightly larger than the workshop up above you, and you realize that the tower is tapering off into like almost like a cone shape as it goes up. Hi, cat. I know. The whole world can hear you. But yeah, you have a at least, if slightly gross looking, but seemingly safe space to rest. Hi, cat. You look like a pirate when you do that. Hi.
Don't worry about it.
You're summoning more critters?
Yes, I figure that they could make good Betty companions for everybody.
Ah, nice. Alright.
Until dawn, at least.
Hi. So yeah, it's currently like late afternoon, early evening when you entered, and it's been like half an hour since then. So you could possibly like take a long rest here and then set out just as the sun is rising.
Yeah.
Hi, cat. I know.
So I think that should be the plan. Honestly, guys. Thoughts?
The quicker we get out of here, the better, in my view.
Okay, so we wait till dawn. Why don't you and your brother and Flo have a little nap? And well, I feel pretty much awake right now. So, oh, actually, I guess Craren usually takes the first watch, and then I'll take the second, and then we should be on our way.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Hello, kitty.
Yes, good idea. And I will move Romulus over to effectively the blanket fort
Cat.
that Oren has made.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now that jackals make
Ah.
the best bloody pillows.
Yep. Well, I make sure Remus is propped up with a jackal pillow.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of lay down next to him with weapons
Cat!
prepared.
My cat is bopping my arm with his head.
Oh, he's so sweet.
Yes, she is. Bonk. Hey, Bonk. Come on.
He wants food.
Yes, he does. Hello.
My cat has been begging me for cheesecake since I got it out of the freezer.
All right. Craren, Oren, could you? Ow, that hurt. Both of you,
No, I
please.
can't,
Could you both please roll me a D100? Cat hairs.
No, no.
I don't think I can count that far.
Oh shit! I rolled a 17 on a D100. That is not. I am worried. I'm gonna die.
All
Why do I
right.
sound like Oren suddenly? No, I'm going to die.
All right. Both of these fit perfectly.
So yeah, I slightly broadened my Australian accent, and then everything is bad.
So, Craren, you take first watch.
Yes.
As you're taking first watch. Actually, Flo, before we do that, what are you doing?
Did you say that the demon like crumbled into dust?
Yes.
So that means the blood that she had from the demon in her mouth also was like dusty, right?
You still have like the whatever was in your mouth when you bit her. It tastes kind of like oily, slick. You know, like when if you dip bread in olive oil, that oily kind of.
Yeah.
It wasn't metallic taste. It was more like an oily kind of.
So she would like change back as she comes down to the second floor because now they're safe. What am I gonna roll for that? If she realizes she actually does have blood taste in her mouth as well.
I'd say give me a perception check.
Ooh.
It wouldn't be with advantage because it's taste based, not hearing or.
Yeah, the oil.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, we have a reference for it, but you wouldn't. But it's kind of like an oily, plasticky kind of taste to it.
Yeah, basically, you can see her change back, and her clothes is all like. You can see them slowly mending. You can see the threads like slowly getting together, but as she turns back, you can basically see her going into her backpack. She takes jerky meat that she has and starts scrubbing it on her tongue.
Yeah, that checks out.
And just looking at everyone like, hello.
You alright?
The taste of this demon in my mouth is really bad.
Flo, come here. Come here. Come on. Come here.
She kind of like slowly walks up after
Come on.
he accidentally
open your
gave her.
mouth.
Yeah.
Go, open your mouth. And he is going to prestidigitate the side of your mouth completely clean and add a mild chicken gravy flavor to it. There you go. That better?
You can see her tail like kind of like smallly wagging and her ear going back, and she's kind of starstruck.
Now the flavor will only last an hour, but your mouth will still be clean. All right? All right.
Do you think you can teach me that?
Prestidigitation's a pretty easy spell to learn. It's basically the first one I ever learned when I was a kid, so probably.
I can't use magic though.
At all?
No.
Oh. We'll have to find a way around that.
I have a tendency to bite things. I mean, usually
well.
they're bad, but
I mean, your tendency to bite things doesn't preclude you from being able to do a little bit of magic. DM, what would the ruling on that be? Teaching somebody who is not a magical class a cantrip?
That would take a lot of work. Like
We've
a
got the time.
lot of work.
I mean,
Yes,
mostly
I'll-
because, having to learn the concept of the weave and
Yeah.
the other bits. But yeah.
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 So
I'll tell
I'd
you what.
say
Go ahead.
yeah, I'd say it's possible for Flo to pick it up at some point. But normally I judge learning a ability or a feat is 10 weeks of work. If you don't want to pick up a feat, just learning a cantrip is gonna take longer. Because you don't, 10 weeks is of intensive study and work. But, because for example, there are books, like books of mastery, that requires you to read for, I think it's like 30 hours over a week, 7-day period of time, where you have to actually read the book. Like 36 hours or something like that over a period.
Yeah, then we got that part, being able to read.
Yes, but it's that kind of intensive study to pick up a feat or an extra ability point. And if you want to just learn the cantrip for a person who doesn't have connections to the weave as it is, that would be like a person deciding they want to become a wizard. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. So yeah, I think you'd say at that point, it wouldn't be easy, but if you really wanted to learn, we could work at it whenever we have the spare time.
I would like that a lot. The lady tasted very greasy.
Yeah. So yeah, you and I, we sit down whenever we've got the time and you're not, needing to nap, because I only need to sleep. Well, I only need to trance for 4 hours, but yeah, on the road while we're, in our cart, wherever, whenever we've got spare time, I'll get you working on it and I'll help you.
Oh, I know how elves work. My mentor was an elf.
Oh, okay.
And
So,
usually
yeah.
it just woke me up when he woke up because he got bored.
So you really didn't get enough sleep then?
I mean, it depended on who was training me. Usually it was him, and sometimes he was nice and let me sleep, but he also, wanted me to learn
Well,
fast.
I'm not going to be mean, but I am going to be tough. So what I mean by that is, while we're learning, we learn hard, but you need to get your sleep, because while you're sleeping is how all the information gets stuck in your head. If you don't get enough of it, you don't learn anything. It just stays at the forefront for a little while and then flitters away like a butterfly. But if you're asleep, it sinks in. So you get your sleep, and then you remember. Got it?
I think so. My mentor only said you have to just beat it hard in. And then you'll learn.
Nah.
But I'll get my sleep.
And she kind of like goes over to the rest of the pile, kind of confused if she's gonna sleep with the brothers or if she's gonna like.
There are creatures. All right. So,
Sleep bits.
sleep bits.
I will
yes.
sit here.
All right. So, Craren, first watch, as usual.
Yes.
All of you settle down to get your rest in. It's a little bit difficult to get to a relaxed state. Remus, you can still feel that like sensation, like the itching in the back of your throat, like tingles of the drop after the adrenaline rush. This is me trying to describe having burned through all of your hit dice. So like
He feels hollow.
yeah.
He's it feels hollow, like he's put more of himself into the flames than you would expect, and like he's a little bit
Oh no.
worn out.
Yeah.
But it's like a bone weariness, but your body's still going on. Like you're tired, but you're carrying on like normal.
Yeah. But eventually you manage to relax enough so that the weariness starts to take over and you start falling asleep. Or in your trance state, you notice everyone around you start relaxing, and eventually the trance takes over and sweeps you off into that relaxed area as well. Craren, as you're taking your watch,
Yes.
wandering back and forth a little bit, eventually you hear this tap, tap, tap of what looks like an orb rolling by your foot. And you look down and you can see that it's a... what are you doing?
What?
Why is the baboon running around messing with my lighting?
Sorry.
I just
didn't realize
saw-
that would affect the lighting.
I just saw flashes of lightning. I was like, what the hell is going on? You see that it's like...
And
it's-
now your narration makes a whole lot more sense now that I know that wasn't the orb rolling around.
No, that's the baboon. No, by your foot, you look down and you see it's a green apple. It's just hit your foot. And looking up, like looking at it and looking up, you see in the corner Mourning like sweep out of the wall. Look at you, cry, and just... I was apparently very wrong about you.
Is that so?
Well, I got your message.
I'm listening.
I think... Yes. I think the revival of something that's been lost for millennia is well worth my time.
Excellent.
So, with that promise, I
Do
have
we
no...
have a deal?
Yes. I I have no further use for your companions or you, really, other than facilitating the contact. You are free to leave whenever you feel like it.
I hope you enjoy that dragon skull.
Oh, I will. I will very much so enjoy that dragon skull.
I have concerns.
And do
To
give
bright
my
futures.
the bright futures, and should you run into them, do give my regards to the Undying Court.
Oh, naturally.
And it's gonna fade back to the wall, and you see this rippling through the wall as he moves through it, as if someone would move through, like, meld into stone or similar. So he's just moving through back up again. And by your foot sits a perfectly nice-looking green apple.
That Crown will definitely never, ever, ever eat from.
No. All right. The rest of your watch passes uneventfully, with the promise still lingering in your mind. And a couple of hours after your meeting with Mourning, Oren, you shake out of your trance, having rested fully. And you swap places with Craren. And what was the roll again? There you are.
17, I think it was.
Yes.
I do not hold up hope for my survival.
Please don't move around that much. It makes the map
Sorry.
flash. I don't know why it does that, but it keeps flashing. When you move, the whole map just flashes, and I don't know why.
Monkey!
But after, like, towards the middle of your watch, Oren, you start hearing this skittering sound, like a along the crystalline wall. And you see this...
This one?
Yeah, this one. So right next to the mushrooms, you see... And then looking closer, you see what looks, at first glance, looks like a rat. But small rat.
A mouse?
No, somewhere between a mouse and a rat, like in size.
Gerbil?
No. It has like the general shape of a rat, but you look closer and instead of a naked tail, it has a bushy tail.
Squirrel?
Basically. And looking even closer, it looks like the front of it, the face, is shaped like a mole with the whiskers. The body is that of a rat. The tail is that of a squirrel.
Weird little creature, aren't you?
And it skitters up along the wall and starts sniffing at the luminescent mushrooms growing, the fungus. And you see, like, below the whiskers, it opens its mouth and starts nibbling on the fungus. And in its like beady little black eyes, you see the reflection of this phosphorescence from the mushrooms.
Now, knowing what our host is, is this a constructed creature?
You can give... What would that be? It's a fair guess that it's some form of construction at some point. Give me a nature check.
Nature, I have a 0 to that. Let's see how this goes. That's an 8.
It doesn't look like any beast that you have run into, and being from Zendrik, you have seen a lot of weird beasts.
These are the bits that was left over.
Yes, but you're not sure if. You're not sure if it was
Go ahead.
created by Mourning or just appeared due to the absolute fuckery that is this forest.
Yeah, he's going to tilt his head from side to side, and then very quickly, when it doesn't look like it's paying much attention to him, snatch it and just stick it in a pocket. Just, you're mine now.
All right.
And, like, feed
Yeah,
it, like,
no.
feed it a little bit of bread, but yoink.
It's trying, like it tries to dodge you, but you're too fast for it. And just.
Ooh, food.
I have a question. Do you put it in the same pocket as your scorpion?
No.
That could have been funny.
A burlap sack with a scorpion and back.
No. He puts it in a different pocket and just keeps stuffing little bits of food in there for it.
All right. And the rest of your watch progresses pretty easily. And eventually, like, you guessing that with about an hour left, you feel that sensation of boredom because nothing is happening. You've been outside camping for so long with the sensation of nothing occurring. Your mind is just going flatlining into like white noise, and you feel boredom start settling in.
At that point, he'll start preparing breakfast, prestidigitating water hot, that kind of thing. He doesn't want to make a fire inside.
Yeah.
So he'll, probably do sort of oats with dried fruit.
All right. And with breakfast starting to get created, Oren, you notice that as you're in the middle of cooking, your beast just poof, 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 which gives you a clear indication that the sun is now rising.
Yeah, at which point he'll start smacking one of his spoons onto a bowl to wake everyone up. Just, all right, breakfast time. Come on, go on. Let's have some food and move out. I do not know how to poof my creatures.
Let me. I'll try. Roll 20. Can I please do the deletes?
No.
Doing the deletes. There you go.
As Orange like starting to bang, you can just imagine like how a dog would react, being like all up, all of a sudden like basically jumping, being like.
As we wake up, Remus will hand off the gloves to Flo, the gauntlets, and the bone armor if she fancies it. Just say, I don't know whether or not these will fit you, but I somehow think that you'll have a better use out of these than we will.
You can basically see her like taking it, and she will put the gloves on, and she will like, ooh, seeing like the blades coming out and being like,
yeah. So the blades are attached like this, like it seems to go out from the middle of the palm. You can still lift your fingers, but it's gonna be like the hilt is part of the palm of the gauntlet, so it sticks out a bit. So you can still use your hands a little bit, but it's gonna be like a big thing in the middle.
ooh.
Honk.
And then you can see her take the armor and starting to sniff it first, start to nibble on the bone a little bit.
Clank.
And being like, a treat. And take it on and just wiggle it on.
It's a little bit tight and a little bit long. So you're gonna have to adjust it slightly, but not like she was a good foot taller than you. But it
So
didn't.
basically, you will see a small toddler in a big armor being like, with swords in both her gauntlets, being like,
Will it be the scene? Will it be the Gimli scene from
Not
Helm's
like-
Deep, where he like drops the chainmail on the floor and it falls at his feet?
Not really. So on Lunette, the
Little tight in the
armor.
chest.
On Lunette, the armor went down to like mid thigh, and then the dress came out under it. For Flo, it's like just under the knee. So it's a little
That's
bit.
very modest.
Yeah, it's a little bit restrictive, but it's not like you're gonna trip on it because it's floor length. But yeah, it's a little bit restrictive.
so you will see her standing
Hi.
there with her like swords out, and you can see her like,
I think it's a little big. And my tail can't move.
I'll be right back.
Yes. Well, I thought you should try it on, and then we know what modifications need to be made when we get to a town, right? Can I just say you look positively terrifying?
Thank you.
Is that a good
I
thing?
think.
I mean, it's a good thing, right?
Is this
mean,
Remus' version of flirting?
No, this is Remus attempting to pass a compliment to someone who he has no idea how to really compliment.
So floating.
Yeah, I suppose it is flirting. It's a very, very weird, crude flirting.
I mean, I'm used to being called scary. So thank you, I think.
Good. Excellent.
and she kind of like takes her hands up and be like,
Can you help me get out? I can't get the gauntlets off.
Yeah, he'll help you take everything off.
Oh dear.
and after you're helping her, she will like, you can see her hair being like poofy, and you can see her like just shake and moving her tail as it could move under her skirt because it was too heavy.
Yes. Well, let's put it on the cart, and when we get outside, and you can we can get it modified whenever we either get to the crag or Fracolon, which I think is our next destination, if we can get out of this place and this forest.
All right.
And I might just convince Romulus here, and he kind of taps his foot against his leg, to put some armor on, given his slightly behold chest. Behold chest? Yes.
I mean, whole isn't necessarily wrong in this instance.
Yes. And I will probably be doing the same once we get outside.
Yep. Well, I just had a funny idea. An assassin using daggers would be a beholder.
I mean,
Oh no.
a drunk assassin holding, that could be a beer holder.
All right.
Oh no. What is the
Drunken Master Monk.
what is our master chef making for breakfast?
Basically, oaten porridge with dried fruit.
You can basically just see your ears drop that there's no meat. But
If he sees this, he'd just be, wait a minute. And he's going to wave a hand over your food and make it smell and taste like a beef stew.
but so she will eat like that, and then she'll look at the dry fruit, and she will basically look at her gauntlet, look at the fruit, stab it, and just eat it. The dried fruit, like.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Nice. Camera. There we go.
She does not have manners.
All right.
That's fine.
And she does not use
Ow.
a spoon. When she's eating, she's like bowl in the face.
That is fine. Aaron has seen worse.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
less, depending on you.
All right. Breakfast had, you gather yourselves, and if there's nothing else you want to do in this room or in the tower,
No.
No, we're good.
you gather yourselves up and move down to the. Let me move all of you guys to.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Moving, you guys. There you go. And
Wish moving.
Beep-a-deep-be-doo. Oh, shit. Hello.
there you go. My map being weird doesn't really matter. You find the two creatures from the day before still wandering around this room, just lifting, poking things, looking at you, and just leaving.
Yes.
Safe travels.
Yeah. You too. I mean, you're not going anywhere, but take care.
Yeah. Yeah. Nip out for some fresh air. You know, the
Yeah.
outside stuff.
Yeah.
It's interesting
Hey.
for a change.
Hey, Craren. Psst. Craren.
Yeah. Yes. What's
Look
up?
what I found.
What did you find?
Yes, he opens up his pocket to show him the creature that he's stolen.
A mole face just
Neat.
pokes out, just munching on something. You're not entirely sure if it's Oren's pocket or if it's some bread.
Yeah. Yeah, I made a friend.
You might want to be careful with that. We don't really know what it eats or does and things.
I mean, it eats bread and fruit and mushrooms,
And you?
like from the wall. Maybe. I figure once we're far enough away that I can't safely turn around and bring it back, I'll, shoot a sending to what's his nuts upstairs and say, hey, if this creature was yours, sorry, I accidentally got it in my pocket and now it's mine.
What's his nuts?
That's entirely
Yeah.
fair.
Oh, shit. Sort of turtles his neck a little, just. You think he can hear me?
Considering he's emerging from walls at will, yes.
Fuck.
Let's walk.
Hey. Hello.
No reaction.
He's trying to just. I'm going to keep this, okay? If you agree, give no response. And then he's going to scurry out the door.
All right.
You
You make yourself. You make your ways out the door into the early morning, and you find your
Oh
cart,
fuck, the donkeys are still here.
the mules.
Uncle.
You see two mules.
Where's Elo?
Yeah.
At the front of your cart, you see your mules. You don't see Elam around. Until you walk around and look into the cart, where Elam is currently sleeping.
Oh.
You can see like the dreaded horror when she can't see him at first and then finds him. She's like, oh my god.
Craren jabs Flo in the side. So, that part of lazy mule, yeah?
I mean, he can still carry more than me.
That's fair.
And I couldn't have done most of my jobs without him because it's usually some heavy lifting involved. And that means he's very helpful.
I wasn't arguing against helpful. I'm just saying that He likes to keep things easy. Can't blame him. That's also not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that you could have moved a lot of more things.
Well, I don't want to push him too hard. He's my friend. I mean, you wouldn't push your friends too hard, Karen, right?
That's debatable. Next question.
Yeah.
You do have friends, Karen, right?
I think I'm his friend.
I'm also not arguing that point. I'm just arguing that diplomacy is a thing where you sometimes have to make amends. Some people will call it convincing. Some people want to call it coercing. Some people might call it threatening the life out of someone. Those things happen. Those things happen. It's all in a day's
Call it
work.
foreplay.
I can be
Nothing.
your friend.
Naturally.
And I believe Orden is a very good friend after
Mm-hmm.
everything I've heard. And the twins seems really nice.
They are.
So everyone's friends.
Yes.
Even Elam.
I wouldn't go as far.
Friends, and she hugs him, and you can see her tail going.
No.
And she will not let go until he hugs her back.
Yes.
Oh no.
Huggus Nuggles.
All right.
And she will,
No
she will
struggles,
also
snuggle
look
here.
at Oren, being like, "You can join too, Oren."
All right. Yeah,
This
he'll do the group hug thing.
Aaron, this is now a group activity.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've been there. I've done that.
I wasn't suggesting that you hadn't. Just saying, this is now a group activity.
All right.
Mhm.
Whatever boat you float.
And after being done hugging them, she's going over to Romulus, hugging him.
He looks still a bit dazed, but a bit more coherent than the day before.
And then she will look at Remus as she's hugging Romulus, being like, "You can join too." Kind of like the puppy dog eyes.
You hear, you see Elos sigh gently as he gets a little bit of frustration from Remus as he moves in for the hug.
All right. Setting out.
Happy Elos.
Yes,
I like
Elos
my
is
new
very
friends.
happy. Setting out from Mordane's hall in the very early morning hours. Sun has just started to rise. Kitty. It is a bit difficult to get through the... so, are you going back the way you came, or are you taking the longer way east?
I'm fairly certain it's back the way we came, because we just want to make sure we go through the bit of the forest that we've already been through first.
All right.
If anyone
Okay.
objects to that.
No.
We like how you think.
All right.
No more surprises.
Cat is like, all the surprises. Romulus is gonna climb up into the cart. Basically like, nope. Because I'm not going to roleplay Romulus, because I don't really know what Nathan wants to do with that.
Flo will try and take Elam out of there so there's space.
That's fair. That is very fair.
Before we set off too quickly, I will pull 2 sets of scale mail out and I will throw one at Romulus and say, "Put this on."
You might need it.
Yes, and he will do the same. So he'll probably put the scale mail on.
Aren't you two looking snazzy?
Yeah.
Okay, let
You
me...
shiny bits. I like that.
Still, man.
Also, I'm plenty more tankier now for a tanky tank.
Before you were just a tank, now you're a tanky tank. I like that.
I'm slowly and steadily adding stuff to my AC. Yes.
He's the tankiest of tank.
Yes.
And now I'm A.
Yeah. Tankception.
Oh no.
There we go.
Although he now has disadvantage with stealth, so if we have a stealthy mission, remind him he needs to take his clothes off.
Remus can't spell the word stealth, so that's fine.
No, he has a habit of tripping whenever we do something that's vaguely stealthy. So
Yes, and have the general notion of I can't be bothered walking slowly for 5 miles.
yes.
Let's.
All right.
Well, mechanically speaking, what he should have done is taken one more level in Barbarian to get the is it the stag thing that you get as 6th level Barbarian?
Yes.
Because then that
Yeah,
allows you
something
to
along those lines, yeah.
travel at normal pace stealthily.
Mm-hmm.
But as he's the combat king, he needs to take fighter.
All right. Whoever is leading the path through, please give me a perception check. Hi, Kitty.
Oh, we should long rested, right?
Yes, you have.
Yes.
You all got a long rest.
Yay. If I don't remember to do that, I don't remember to do that, and that's bad.
All right. As you're leading the scouting, Remus, looking around, the forest is as creepy as it was when you walked in, except now it's in the early morning light instead of the late afternoon light. You see these long webs that seem to be like wrapping and twisting around the trees. And at a few points, it seems like you see something moving in the trees. Long limbs piercing through the dark canopies of these twisted trees. And at one point, you're sure you saw what looked like a woman's face peering out through the canopy, but looking straight at it, it vanished into the canopy itself. You hear the skittering of small creatures, the clacking of large spiders in the forest itself, but eventually you all make it out of the forest. And the last thing you notice, Remus, as the trees give way to the fields, is a huge shadow that seems to come from the trees and bend down, and you hear tapping of many, many limbs. Not spider limbs, however. And as you turn around, what looks like a severed hand runs back into the forest. Like on all, like on the fingers. Think like the Thing from Adam's Family, just into the forest.
Once we get outside of the forest, Remus will say, next time we come here, can we please make sure we bring something that burns forests before we go anywhere near it?
Burning forest? Check.
I have no objection to smashing stuff, cutting stuff up, like applying brute force to things, but weird magical shit that walks around.
How large scale do you mean? Are you talking like burning down a tree, or are you more of a this is now a forest fire?
I am of the persuasion that the only way to feel comfortable in this scenario is forest fire, firestorm, any sort of high-level magic that require and consume a great deal of wood through flame. Please.
I will look into that, and I can see if we can have something arranged.
Good.
I've seen someone have like white flames that kills like undead things.
Yes, but
Yeah.
they're like, are they like the silver flames, the ones that you don't like?
No. I mean, they can use it too, I think. I haven't seen them use it. They usually use silver swords. Or axes. Or daggers. But I've seen like that's why I thought Oren was a priest, because he was wearing white, because that guy was wearing white and he could use white flames and he killed like skeletons and weird things.
Oh,
Nah, I'm just a bard, but I like white. But that sounds like a cleric.
Yes.
But yeah, white flames, they were really nice.
hold on a minute. Was it a cinnamon flavored priest is a cleric? Where was that comment from like 3 or 4 weeks ago? It was when I was away.
I think I know the comment you're talking about. I don't remember when it was from.
This feels vaguely familiar.
All right. After having been in the almost oppressive darkness of the forest, the humidity, the dim light, the constant noise of moving things, of the forest around Mordane's Hall, you find yourselves out on the plains again. Air moving freely, the wind slightly chill compared to inside the forest. And you can see the grass swaying in the breeze. Overhead, the day is clear, the sunlight streaming, bathing everything in bright light. Oren is not comfortable. Romulus is also like covering his head with the sun hat.
I hate daytime.
Oren, when we find a larger city later on, hopefully, please find yourself some sooted glass.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, player observation, these days we would call them sunglasses, but you know, they weren't
Yeah.
quite a thing back then, so sooted glasses, yeah.
Yeah.
That should help.
All right.
Also, and some Crown just casually to Remus, but in the event that you were sleeping a bit uneasy, now that we have left the place, I'm not sure if you were thinking too much about it, but the tower itself was alive. Is alive.
That's
It's a
weird.
living
Okay.
tower.
Okay. So, fire and additional concussive force is required. Is that what we're now saying? Fire to burn the forest, and something very big to knock the tower down.
That would be the biggest barbecue of your life.
True. But yes.
Saying it's nice to be out of that place.
Yes. Look, I think I've said before, I'm a bit of a simple soul. I like to hit things, and ideally, I like those things to try and hit back, so at least it's a semblance of a fair fight.
Yes.
When you start doing your weird magic shit, I know that it happens. I know how to counter some of it, but when you get to somewhere like that and it is corrupting all, shall we say, it just makes me slightly nervous.
And that's understandable, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Yes.
that hall isn't going to cause too much of a Mordain isn't going to cause too much of a challenge to our actual task, is he? Given how close the tower and his forest may be to where we need the train line to run.
Oh, you want me to send a message to him and ask?
I would.
Let's not say you did. Let's keep the estranged, excommunicated, hyper-powerful wizard happy. He seems to be happy, and we'd like to not disturb him further.
Well, that's why I was going to suggest that we potentially message Derek and let him know that he should hug the coastline of the lake once he's established his station at the town, and kind of dip under his preferred route to take a bit of a detour around the forest and the hall.
Oh, I can send a message if you want.
You have a sending stone.
Yeah, Romulus has got the gear. Once he's back up on his feet and can string a sentence together, maybe he can do so for us. But
Yeah. Is he all right? Like, does he need like a cookie or something?
when you've had a voice in your head for a prolonged period of time and suddenly it stops, you could kind of imagine, maybe you can't imagine, but like Lunette no longer being part of that sword and constantly whispering to him is probably slightly unnerving. Like when we were kids,
Oh yeah.
we would be constantly in each other's heads and not really talking out loud until we kind of got beaten into speaking more. And so, like, it's odd when you're just so used to communicating with something as simply as that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry.
No, what I'm getting at is, as far as language and things comes, if you have a way of communicating without using words, do you communicate with concepts before you formalize it into a language and use words? Like, I don't know, the feeling of food. How do you communicate that before you have words? I'm going to assume that you were talking before you were talking.
Well, like, there's these little emoji things. No, I'm joking.
Eggplant.
Quarry is emojis confirmed.
Yes. Well, so I suppose yes, we can communicate feelings and thoughts. Like it's not like when I connect with you, I have to physically be able to like voice something, and
Yeah.
I can talk to something that has a language in my voice and they can understand it, and vice versa when I'm in someone's head. But when I'm in my brother's head, it feels much more of a, I don't know, like a joining of the minds, a flowing of emotions and thoughts, and
Well, you're
from
twins.
experience type thing.
You're twins. You're basically one soul split into two bodies, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
Never really come across that as a concept.
That's the way I've always thought of it. So it would make sense. You two have a deeper connection than anyone could ever imagine.
Just got me curious. Didn't mean to pry too much. Just curious on how things work.
Yeah.
Because I understand how message work and do those things, but like my mind linking, I haven't quite got to that part. So yeah, figured I ask.
I mean, if you really want me to, I can spend another 20 years in your brain, Karen, and we can experiment.
We can have something arranged.
I mean, it's technically 30 years. But you know what I mean. We get nearly 30 years in your brain, and then maybe we can...
Yeah. But yeah, we can have something arranged. I have a number of more centuries to do things. So yeah, if you're up for it.
Might just need to check how long a Kalash star lives for.
Oh, yeah.
and how long a Kalastar mercenary lives for.
Yeah.
I feel that the average lifespan of a Kalastar and a Kalastar mercenary differs slightly.
And then a Kalistar mercenary that's in whatever the fuck we're doing in this story.
Yeah, that's like an
Yes.
indoor cat and an outdoor cat.
Yes.
And an indoor cat and an outdoor cat and an outdoor cat with a death wish.
Yeah.
Yes, all
So
of
what
that.
we need to do is we need to neuter you. Okay, get it. And then you'll be less prone to wander.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If I understand things right, player observation, I think as far as Kalastars are described, they have the age the same rate as humans.
Yes. They do. But mercenaries are notorious for not aging as
And going bonk into doors.
yes. And adventurers have even shorter lifespans than mercenaries. So, you know.
Yeah.
On average, you know. But okay, so
We're out of that place.
yes, you're out of that place, and you're slowly making your way eastwards. Where you heading? You said you were heading towards Thrakelorn, right? That
Yes.
Yes.
So deviating slightly from the path, you can see, like, from where you're at, a slight elevation, and being a clear day, not only can you see the horizon and the mountain range that cuts Droam from, brain, what this country called? I don't have that map on. Why don't I have that map up? It's almost like I should probably know what the hell I'm talking about.
The Eldeen Reaches
Yes, thank you.
and the Towering Wood.
Thank you. So you can see the Bayeshk Mountains that cut Droam from the Eldeen Reaches, but you can also, like, slightly south of that, see the Great Crag, which is just beyond Thrakelorn. From where you're at right now, just south of Mordane's Hall, it will take you roughly, so it took you 3 days there. It will take you about 5 to 7 days from where you're at right now to reach Thrakelorn, depending on weather and, like, from what you can tell right now, it's just like rolling hills with some bits and bobs, cliffs and such, hills and such in between. But from what you've experienced so far, the weather can get finicky, especially since it's winter. But you're looking at about 7 days travel towards Thrakelorn. It is currently midday, so you set out just after sunrise, and it took you a little more than 3 hours to get out of the Flesh Forest. Yes, that's what it's called. No, I did not make that up. So it's roughly midday at this point, a little bit before noon. But you're looking at some nice travel time. Which one of you is leading the watch for your travels? You can see that the road that you were looking at, that cobblestone that you were traveling alongside of, continues eastwards, then branching off. One leading down to the Great Crag, one towards Thrakelorn, one north. But you can see it. You can't so much see the road itself after a while, as it looks like the grass just thins out.
Mm-hmm.
And the dry grass around you even though it's like dry and brittle because winter, it's almost knee high. But whoever is lead, Romulus is gonna be at the back of the cart because again, I'm not gonna roleplay that. That's up to Nathan to do. But whoever is leading the watch as you travel along this path, please roll me a perception check.
So I don't think it would be Oren, because Oren would probably be trying to teach Flo how to press the digitate.
All right.
That's fine. Remus tends to keep a lookout when we're traveling.
Yeah.
All right. Please roll me a perception check then. The DC is not
Yeah.
very high.
An 11.
Well, that's a good thing it was a 10 then. After a while, the world seems to kind of blend a bit. You know that feeling of everything just becoming one when you're traveling through the same vistas over and over and over again. And Remus, you start feeling your mind slipping a bit into just daydreaming distraction when suddenly out of the grass you see this huge construction almost towering out of the grass as you move closer, and you realize like the rolling hills have been shielding it just slightly. And as you move closer, you realize that you're looking at a large like a catapult construction. As I'm trying to locate where there it is. And you coming even closer, you can see that it's been like overgrown with vines. Next to it is what looks like a ballista. And then you move even closer and you can see 3 individuals standing by the catapult. Let me move you to the map. One of them looks extremely familiar to you. It's Map, don't be dumb. Map, stop being dumb. Thank you. Nope, Map is being dumb. I don't know why Map
Oh
is
no, it's a rakashashash.
Oh no.
The chapter of speech impediments.
And next to this weapon-clad, armor-clad,
Yes.
armed.
I now strap
creature.
swords to my body all over, and
Yes,
No one can
is
touch me.
Be careful you don't
Two-
move too much. That's definitely you don't want to nick a nipple. That's what I was trying to get out.
Nipple.
next to these, you see what looks like a large furry creature with long ears, wearing what looks like leather armor, and hoisting a axe, very similar to Remus's, across its back. And nope. Let me see what this one is carrying.
Clicky, clicky.
And the next to that one is a smaller version of the same, but this one with what looks like a long sword strapped across its back. Now, they haven't noticed you yet, because you just managed to notice them. So you have an option here. Either get closer or try to sneak around.
And there's me just putting on medium armor that gives me disadvantage of stuff.
And you're on a
How
cart.
far in the healing process is this crew right now? Because damage was taken, someone used up hit dice.
You have
so on and such forth.
you've had a long rest, so you should
You're all
be
fully
fine.
healed.
Entirely fair.
Guys? So are these guys
Yes.
fighting each other?
No, they seem to be like having a conversation. You can't really hear what they're saying, but they seem to be having a conversation.
Oh.
So we can
Rough.
see them.
Yes.
I mean, there's 3 of them and there's 5 of us, and I don't know. What do you think?
Do you want some extra views, or do we go the easy way around?
Well, my thought is that, first of all, they might be friendly.
They might be friendly. They look like ruffians, and I have been
Yeah.
wrong before. But is it a gamble you want to take right after leaving the forest?
Well, what I mean is, they might be friendly, and if they're not, they're probably a threat to the railroad, right?
You have a point.
Yes, Flo?
Can I see their mouths? That mouth.
Yes.
I can read lips. I'm
Nice.
observant.
Nice.
Oral fixation.
So yeah, what you can see the mouths of the 2 large creatures. Flo, you recognize these 2 as being hobgoblins. The 2 long-eared ones. And you can see what the bigger, like
Close relative to the hobnobs.
you can see that the you can't really see what the Rakshasa is saying because they have a helmet on, but you recognize like the hands and the armor looks very similar to the ones that you were fighting earlier. But you can see what the bigger of the hobgoblins is saying, and they seem to be talking about like you can read his lips, and he says something along the lines of the forces are moving up, and then we know it, you don't have to come here and remind us all the time, and there is a break from time to time, and then you hear
Here.
no, well, you see him saying something that looks similar to, well, if you can move the forces in, we'll have a chance. Alone, the bitches will take us out.
So basically, people don't know this about Flo, that she can like read lips, so she basically just saying it out loud as she's like staring at this hob. So it doesn't make sense because she's not having a conversation with anyone, so she just repeats what she's saying. And then she looks at, I believe Oren sat next to her.
Yes.
And then she will look at Oren.
What do you think?
Is this
I
a
just
moment
w-
of wait? Can you hear me when I do that?
So she's basically like looking at everyone, just smiling like,
I think they're getting forces. And something about the bitch. Whatever that is.
The bitch?
Or the bitches.
I mean,
So I've got an idea. It's a little bit risky. What if I were to go up and just try and make friends and see what they say? And I mean, if I die, Claren's right there.
that's a bold move, Cotton.
How about we do that, but I walk in step with you, so that
Yeah.
I can be the strong, silent bodyguard type.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
And I will stay here and make sure that Craren and Remus is okay.
Yeah. Here. And he's going to
Romulus.
hand
Romulus.
Flo the little.
Romulus. This is so confusing.
Yeah, he's going to go. Oh yeah, and here. dig into his pocket and take out the little rodent that he's stolen and hand it to you before wandering out.
All right.
That's not for eating.
Yeah, you can basically see her like about to like knock its head, like bite his head off, and it's just like,
If,
all right.
If not for eating, then why food shaped?
yeah, basically she's
And
like,
yeah.
why are you giving me a furry thing?
Yeah, Oren will wander up here. What's the time of day right now?
You got outside of the forest just before midday. I'd say it's mid-afternoon at this point. So you've been traveling for a couple of hours.
So yeah, he's just gonna go, afternoon, gentlemen. Terrible day for it. Sun's killing my eyes. How are you guys?
You see 3 sets of eyes turn straight at you, Oren, and then look up
Hi.
at Remus, and then at the cart, and just you hear the Rakshasa just, oh shit, we've been rattled. Gentlemen,
Rattled? What rat?
kill them.
Wait, hey, why kill us? We're not doing anything.
You saw us.
I saw ya, but I don't know what you're doing.
That's not the point.
What's the point?
Well, you are the witnesses. We can't have that now, can we?
I mean, you're also witnesses, you know.
To our own meeting.
I didn't hear anything. I just saw 3 guys and was I'm a bit lost. Like, we got into this forest over there, and then we got really turned around, and I have no idea what's going on. You understand?
That's a shame.
Yeah, I thought so. So what was I supposed to witness? Because as far as I'm concerned, I've not seen anything.
That's not how that works, little one. And the
Calling little.
Rakshasa's gonna take a step back and just point towards you, Oren, and call out to the hobgoblins, just clean that up, and I'll meet you later.
I am plenty clean, sir.
The hobgoblin's gonna pull the axe out, and
Shit.
I need all of you to roll initiative.
Oh, I didn't get
Ah.
Sorry, what?
I was gonna ask if Flo still could read their lips, because if they're
Oh, yeah.
like, oh, we're gonna kill you, she would basically like take out her like crossbow and be like pewing at the first thing she got.
I rolled an 8.
So did I. Wow.
Point
we are
16.
shit.
All right.
Really
Oh, no.
8, 8.16, 3, and 5. This
Wait.
is amazing.
That's a natural one.
Oh no.
Well,
I'm
fuck
gonna
all
let
of
you,
this.
because you were going to do that, Flo, I'm gonna let you get that first shot off, and then we're gonna go into initiative, because you were technically
I'll get a
firing
free shot.
first. And because I can't
Right,
roll,
right.
like... What is this? One
You do-
person rolls above
I mean-
a 9. 1.
I mean, let's at least appreciate this. The one who rolled a 7 still rolled better than 2 other characters.
Yes. Who are you firing at, Flo?
The one that's going for Oren. If
Alright.
basically she can't read the Rakshasa's
Mhm.
mouth.
Yeah.
But when she sees like they're drawing weapons and going near, she's like, well, taking out and just shooting.
Even with the weird angle, etc., you're still on a little bit of an elevation, and you manage to just pierce through the large hobgoblin's shoulder, because a 17 is exactly what you needed to hit. So please roll me damage.
There you go.
8 damage. Minus
17 can
8.
complicate things. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And That means we are in.
Well, she did mention I'm at a weird angle.
Yes. There we go. But this hobgoblin is up first, and he's going to grab his long sword, pull it out, and he's gonna. No, that's not it. Where are you? There you are. He's going to. Actually, someone roll me a d4, please, or a flip coin. It's odds and evens I'm after right now. Okay, 2.
Both
So
events.
he's gonna quickly give Oren a glance, and then just try to swing over on Remus because you're the bigger threat of the two, according to him.
First of all, rude. I'm plenty threatful.
Where we go? No,
You've also died twice.
Hey.
that's the one. That's a 9,
Oh,
however.
I've got to remember I put a cloak of displacement on too.
So
Nope.
he's really telegraphing that hit with one hand and just overhead swing, and just
Yeah.
plank down on.
Remus kind of takes like a slight side step as it lands on the floor, but at his feet, and kind of looks up at him and just smiles as he reaches for his weapon.
Nice. Next up is the hobgoblin captain, and what he is going to do is he's going to take a couple of steps back here. So if you wanted, you can have an opportunity to attack, Oren.
Yeah, I'll take that. He's gonna pull out his knitting needles, and as the guy is moving, he's just going to try and stab him with them. Let me find my character sheet over here real quick. Again, where are my weapons? Where are my weapons?
At the top.
I've lost my weapons. I've lost my weapons. A dagger.
That hits. 23 does it.
Okay. Doing dagger damage. 5 piercing damage.
That's pretty good for dagger damage.
Yeah.
So you see, the captain's gonna wince as he steps away from you, and pulling the longbow out of its sheath and just gonna fire 2 arrows towards you, Oren.
Hey.
So first one is a 12, second one is
A
a 20.
disadvantage with Cloak of Displacement.
Yes. So first one is a 12, second one is a 9.
My armor class is 14.
Yeah, both of them miss. You notice like the arrows just whisk past you, Oren, through like where you imagine that the hobgoblin captain thinks you are at. Remus,
Yeah, he sees Oren's tongue poke out.
Remus, the second arrow just whoosh past your head.
Remus will observe. And when exactly did you figure out that you could do that? And why didn't you use it even the 2 times that you've gone down in combat so far?
Oh, it's this pretty coat that I'm wearing.
Okay.
Nice.
Why is
Yeah.
it doing that? And then he's gonna walk out behind this ballista. Okay, map. For the love of fuck, stop it with the strobe lights.
Sorry.
No, like-
Weirdly, I think that's only on your GM screen,
Yes,
because I don't
it's-
think it's
Yes.
happening on ours.
It doesn't even the slightest happen.
It doesn't
on
even
ours.
do it on the other thing that the stream can see. It's just on mine. Whenever you're doing anything that moves your token or you look at something, I get the strobe lights. It's very annoying.
Oh no.
All right,
The worst has happened.
Oren, you're up. 2
Can
arrows
you still
just
see
shoot
the guy
you.
behind the ballista?
Yeah, you can see him, but he has
Yeah.
half cover. but you can still
That's
see
okay.
him.
He's going to need to make a wisdom save as Oren looks at him, gives him a wink, and goes, "Don't you really hate cats?"
That's an 11.
Okay, that will work. So I have cast Antagonize. So I have whispered a magical word that antagonizes one creature of my choice within range. He's within range. The target
Alright.
must make a wisdom save. On a failed save, the target takes 4d4 psychic damage. I'm just going to roll that in D&D Beyond since I've got D&D Beyond open. That's
Alright.
11 psychic damage.
Ooh, that's a lot.
And immediately use his reaction to make a melee attack against another creature of my choice. I think you know what I've asked him to attack.
Yes. I'm check. He's and he's a melee attack. Does he have to move to do it as well?
Yeah, he can. He will have to move.
All right. So yeah, he's gonna go and run up here.
Wait a second. Creature of your choice that you can see if the target can't make this attack, for example, because there is no one within its reach, because its reaction is unavailable. So if there's no one within its reach, does that mean he can't move with his reaction?
Yeah, it would have to be within.
If not, okay. So instead, he has disadvantage on his next attack roll he makes before the start of my next turn.
Nice. Real nice.
Yeah. So just don't you really hate cats?
Let's see if reloading the page helps at all. Because I can't even see my own map.
Oh no.
I mean, the stream thing can see it.
Oh yeah, no, that's a different thing. So now I have to rejoin as the GM, but
Yeah.
like this one is completely fine. My GM map just vanished.
Who needs DM maps?
Right? Do you want to move from where you're standing, Oren?
Let me take a look at that, because that's probably going to be a yeah. Yeah, he's going to... He's going to go right there.
My GM
Wait,
screen is
that's-
still doing the strobe lights. I don't know why. At least I can
Actually,
see
no,
the
he's
map
going to go
now.
right there.
All right. Hey, it didn't strobe on that one. Woohoo! All right. Remus.
He will call out to Flo and say, "Do you have this little guy?"
Which one?
As in that one. That's stood right in front of you. Excellent. And he would like to try and do something quite cool, depending on which way this ballista is facing. He would like to run the length of the ballista as if it's like running the oars on a ship.
Okay.
So literally like run all the way up here and then kind of jump down on top of this hobgoblin with his hammer, please.
All right, that is pretty cool, and I think I know what's happening with the strobe lights because you're accidentally outside the map. But yes, first of all, give me an acrobatics check.
Cool.
I just want to see if you pratfall or not. No, you're fine.
Excellent. I will bonus action rage as I'm running up the thing, and then
All
I
right.
will land and smack him with the warhammer.
Go for it.
I forgot to cast aid on
Yeah.
everyone this morning. Whoops.
The 11 misses.
Yes, 11 does not hit. You see the hobgoblin sees you coming, running up, and he's gonna lift the axe to just brace against your attack. You do have an extra attack if you want.
Yes, and this time I am going to attack recklessly because I just want this guy down as quickly as
All right.
possible. And a 14 will also miss, I assume.
Yes. Again, he's
Fuck's sake,
gonna
Carlos, move.
Bum.
deflect the hammer, but you see him like staggering a bit from your blows. Seems very unsettled by the fact that his suddenly barbarian dropped on his head.
Deploy barbarian.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Where did
I can't. I
write?
feel. I has a sad.
Oh.
Oh.
I can't draw cones.
Aw.
I can draw pen lines and rectangles and ellipses, but I can't draw cones. So, I'm just gonna measure. That sort
Alright.
of works.
What type of cone do you want?
I can't see anything when you're doing that. I
I
don't.
want to have a 30-foot cone. How the? I can't do that. I don't have the option to do a cone.
So if you're in measure, under shape, what have you
Enough.
got? Line, square,
Oh,
circle.
you can. Oh yeah. You can measure with a cone like that. Ah, yeah.
Yeah?
Nice. I just never bothered to look that there's even options to click on. So
Okay, I turned
yeah, that
dynamic
should work.
lighting on, and it stopped doing the strobe lights.
Yes, now it's completely black.
I can't see anything.
Yes.
It's a lighting problem, is it?
Yes.
Daylight mode.
So that should work.
How about that?
I need. So. You're
Yeah.
done with your turn? This is Kraren's turn?
No. It's the Rakshasa's turn.
It's
And-
Rakshasa's turn.
Yes.
I thought you were done. I thought you said
No, I
Karen
haven't
was up.
done anything, but you've started
Oh, you haven't
measuring
done
stuff,
anything.
and I couldn't see anything, so I had to fix that.
I feel you're hating.
That's hella hating.
Oh no.
Now let's see. She is going to. I don't. She's gonna grab a javelin, and she's gonna throw it. Who's the biggest threat here, according to her? That would be Remus. She's gonna throw it at Remus. For a 21 bit.
Yes, that hits.
9 piercing, and seeing as that succeeded, she's gonna chuck another one for an 18.
boost?
Meets the beat. Yes.
Alright. Because reckless.
Mhm.
So 10 piercing, half to 5. First one was
Yep.
9, half to 4.
Yep. Remus is now stood there next to this hobgoblin with 2 javelins sticking out his back.
No.
That's a melee weapon attack. And then she's going to move up here. Now it's Kraren's turn.
Oh, you fuck waffle.
Yes.
What?
Actually-
I'm going to laugh at that because we've spent a large amount of time recently debating on Jarl's stream which one's better, which one's superior, waffles or pancakes. And I don't quite think the concept of a fuck waffle has got into the conversation.
I'm going to make the judgment that this is a 30-foot cone now.
Yes, it is.
Because
Yeah.
that's a 30-foot cone.
Yeah, you can hit both.
Good. At which point, I need to, considering this isn't written in things yet, and I need to, you haven't written, and I haven't asked you to write in fear yet.
Okay.
But how it works is they need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yes. Wisdom save. Let me check something real quick.
No, I chose not to broadcast that cone. I think DM only sees it because I didn't want to further fucculate flashy bits to other people.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So both of them need to make that save.
Yes.
Because fear is a 3rd level spell. So wisdom for you. She has advantage. That's a 19 on the Rakshasa. And
Why are you getting all the big numbers? No one else is.
15 on the hobgoblin.
And that's against what again?
I do believe I said 15 on the crown. But it would be your spell DC.
Yeah. Where the hell on the sheet is that even mentioned?
It's on. If you click on the sheet and you click on spells, it will say at the top.
Oh, spells.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's 15.
All right. So you can see like the smaller of the hobgoblins in front of you look at you, shake a little bit, and just creep all over. Take a half step back and just then brace. Meanwhile, the Rakshasa is hard to see behind the thing, but she's just gonna, like a cat stepping out of water, just shake off the effect. Unfortunately, both saved.
I hate you. I just wanted you to know that.
Sorry.
No, you don't.
It's a cool idea, though. I'm sad it didn't succeed.
Of course I don't. But,
Oh, I've
you know,
just realized something. I need to do a calculation.
for the argument, yes, of course
Yes.
Yeah, that should work. Let's see.
All right. You still you have movement and a bonus action left.
I do.
I didn't hear a word of that.
You didn't hear a word of what?
Well, I said you have bonus action and movement, and then
Yeah,
nothing.
and I said, fuck that, I said.
All right. I just heard a so. Flo.
She's just gonna stand up, take a crossbow bolt, lay it next to Romulus. You're still in the cart.
Yes.
And just be like,
Can you just hold this for a second?
and she will like,
Terris, what are you doing?
Nothing. Checking something. Don't worry
Uh-huh.
about it. I can't
Okay.
get far enough up to properly test, but I think I can do it without getting.
All right.
I
Flo,
just
what
need
you doing?
to be at the right point of origin.
What are you doing?
oh, sorry, I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
No, Terris is just
No, go
testing.
ahead.
So Lane, giving her
Yeah. Okay.
shooty.
Mhm.
To Romulus, being like,
You can hold this.
and she will look at the poor hot goblin in front of her,
Mhm.
and he will start hearing the rumbling of like a growl of a wolf and just sheer change right in front of his eyes, hearing like the crackling
Nice.
of the bones.
Nice.
And she will jump off the cart.
All right.
Look, they will be at the same size-ish.
Yeah.
And just start striking.
All right. First one is battered away by the shield that is bearing, as is the second one. It's just. Unfortunately, but both of them are just bing bing away.
Okay.
You still have some movement left if you want to move around or
Nice.
get away from the cart.
No, she's making sure that this hobgoblin is not getting anywhere close to the donkeys or the party.
All right. And it's the hobgoblin's turn. And seeing that you're just in his face, he's gonna try and strike you with the longbow. Not longbow, longsword. That's not gonna hit. Those are 2 nat 1s.
Nice.
Yay.
Still like Rattle trying to beat you away, preventing you from hitting. He's just like,
I'm just imagining her taking like the hand
yeah, it's like,
and just like tilting her head and being like, "What the fuck are you doing?" kind of.
The hobgoblin captain is up against Remus and does have. That's not a great axe. That's a great sword. Sorry. Gonna drop the longbow and try to swing at you with the great sword. First attack. So technically that would be reckless would make it an advantage, but he has disadvantage on his next attack. So that would be a straight roll, right? Which is a 10 to hit on the first one.
This is
And the second one is a 19.
hit.
For 11 slashing damage and 5 poison, both halved. So 5 slashing and 2 poison damage.
Okay.
And yeah, he's just gonna hold the sword out towards you. And trying to see like if he can go anywhere. I don't have space on the map, so he's just gonna try and move. Hold on, he's gonna move here, and I am causing strobe lights for myself again. Oren.
Oren was going to cast Fairy Fire, and I think he still will, but he'll just make sure to. It's going to hit
Remus.
Remus, whoever that is there.
Remus.
Remus,
That's fine. He was expecting at least one of you to fire off a fireball at some point, so if it's just a fairy fire, then it's...
Yeah, so he's going to cast Fairy Fire to hit the 3 enemies and try and not get anyone else in the thing, but unfortunately, our Remus friend will get hit.
Oren, give me Oren, give me a before you decide on it, give me a wisdom check.
A wisdom check?
Yes.
He's not very wise, you know this, right?
I know.
Oh, that's actually an 18.
As you're about to cast, you do remember from fighting the Rakshasa before that they are immune to spells below level 1.
Oh.
So you can upcast if you
Below
want.
level 1?
Yes. Spell levels of level 1 or lower, so level 1 or cantrips, they are completely immune to.
Oh, I have Fairy Fire as a special feature, so I can't do that. So he won't do that.
Alright, so just as you're about to build up, you remember that the Rakshasa will not be affected by it, and you can pull it back if you want.
So he will pull it back, and instead... What looks to be I guess the guy that is right on our mules and everything is probably the most dangerous thing right now.
Yes, to you it would be yes.
Yep. So I'm a level 6 right now.
Uh-huh.
I am going to cast Eldritch Blast
Alright,
instead.
sure thing.
Let me just get to my spells. Where is my Eldritch Blast? Alright, I don't have it on there because I haven't updated my spells properly.
I'll roll on
let's
D&D
do it
Beyond
here.
then.
Yep, 20-40 hit for the first one.
Yeah, that hits.
14 to hit for the second one.
Second one does not hit, but first one does.
Okay. Doing 7 damage.
Alright. You...
That is action.
Yes.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You see him start, like, reeling as the first beam hits, and then just barely dodging out of the way of the second one.
Okay, that's action. And for a bonus action, who is next in play? I will bardically inspire our Remus friend.
Alright.
With a his head in.
You moving anywhere, or are you good where you are?
I am quite good where I am, thank you.
Alright, Remus.
Smacky smacky.
Alright. That's a crit.
I did not declare before I rolled that I was attacking recklessly. Will you allow it, or would you prefer me to keep the 14?
I'll allow it. I can just hit you with something nasty next time, so, you know. That's how reckless works.
Yes. Do you double the rage on the reckless or not? Double
No.
the rage on the so it's 2 and 2, so 4, and then the 2 dice rolls. So what's that? 15, 19 damage with that first hit. Then
Nice.
I'm going to change this because it's only going to be one-handed now, so I don't need the 2 rolls. So that's attack number 1, and then attack number 2 will still be reckless. 17.
17 just hits. So the first hit lands. The second one, he brings up the sword again, but you just manage to push the hammer into him.
Yep, so that's another 10 damage.
And you hear something just snap in his shoulder.
Nice.
And the hobgoblin is reeling from the impacts. He barely standing. You can see he's looking very dazed. Alright.
Him right.
The Rakshasa is going to grab, like, draw the longsword from his sheath nearby, and she's going to... She can just reach you. She's
Go
gonna
to daddy.
run over here.
Oh no.
And with like 3 quick strikes, just ow! I hit my microphone. That hurt. So one-handed. First is a 24.
Yep.
Second is a 27.
Yep.
And the third one is a 13.
Nope.
Alright, so for the first one, we have 10 slashing, and I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
19.
Ow. You are not pushed. You can feel like the power of the first attack trying to push you away. But 10, and you take an additional 14 slashing, halved,
No.
as the sword cuts in. Second damage is... That's pathetic. For 9 slashing, halved to 4.
Yep.
That was the saddest nat 20 I've seen so far. But yeah, with the first swing comes in, try to shove you into the ballista, but you manage to just brace against it. Second one doesn't really have the leverage, but you still feel it like cut your arm. And then the Rakshasa is gonna just hiss in your face.
He will hiss back.
Kraran.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yes. That's like me. I sort of forgot that.
Oh no.
That wasn't intentional, but that's what happened. So he's click. So he's in my face, right?
Yes.
That's unfortunate. At which point he will, well, considering nothing else has worked, let's see if this hits.
That hits, yes. Yes, it does.
That does hit.
Yep.
Good. And let's see how much that hurts.
So, Kraran, how do you want to overdo this?
I mean, he's, because, you know, this is one of those moments where Kraran being an information broker,
Mm-hmm.
he's a wizard,
Mm-hmm.
and he is having most of his spell selection revolves around getting out of dodge.
Yes.
So he has a couple of offensive things. One is Chromatic Orb, which is handy when you're at a distance. And then when things are too close, he's able to punch people in the neck.
Yes. Quite efficiently.
And that's exactly what he does.
I need to check something real quick. Yes.
I don't like
yes.
how that changes my character sheet
Yeah,
when you
no,
do
sorry, I was checking something real quick. Sorry about that. But yes, you touch this hobgoblin and something just clicks and you feel the life just drain out of him. But it doesn't stop. Because he had 4 hit points left.
It works.
And you did double that.
No, he dead.
Yeah.
So you just see the whole body of this hobgoblin turn to ashes on the ground.
How does that even work? How do you, like...
It's a bit
Give
like
me
being
a-
dusted in the Avengers, right? It's like
No, but it's more of I'm just trying to wrap things around my head. It's like, how do you even roll 8 when you roll 4 d10s?
I don't know. I think it's 8 plus 18, which is still...
Yeah, I think
He had
I
4
think
hit
it's-
points left. You did a lot more than that.
Yeah, that's
but yeah,
24. Yes.
Yes. So, no, it's 26. So the guy
No,
turned
26.
to
Yeah.
complete
Yeah,
dust
yeah.
on the ground, rapidly aging, the like rapid decomposition, and then turning to dust in front of you. Could you please give me a Constitution check?
Constitution check. Okay.
Yes, not a save, a check.
So those are saves, yes. Allow me to click. I want to click. Just stop highlighting text on my thing. Yeah,
All
so
right.
17. My bad.
Yeah.
The hyper-clicking didn't help.
As you see this pile of dust on the ground, you feel a burning alongside your head, but it doesn't really like. It's like a sudden itch along your hairline, but you manage to just shake your head and it goes away.
Can appreciate that.
Almost like some of that dust got into your hair, and it started itching like crazy. Anything else you want to do?
With this thing being dyed, not really.
All right, Flo. I'm gonna move that so you
I
can
think
actually.
one thing that basically just
Where the fuck is Flo?
she was holding that.
Where the fuck is Flo?
I'm here.
No.
Oh, you're on the.
Well,
sorry, you're on the Craren, right?
You moved me there.
I haven't touched you.
You
Well,
moved the whole
some-
map on me. I'm like, where the fuck is Flo? Where the fuck is Craren? Where the fuck is Hobgoblin?
I haven't.
More of I haven't
Yeah, it's
moved on
usually-
this map at all. So that's what I'm saying. You moved me there.
It's usually Oren that's under Grara.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So
Flo.
basically,
Yeah.
she was holding the hand of this guy.
Yeah,
Holding
he
it
just-
still since he was wailing. And then suddenly disappears in front of her. She looks behind her. And you can hear like slightly growl a little bit like, seriously?
Give me a perception check real quick.
Perception. With or without advantage?
Without.
I know! I have gotten 2 nat ones, the 2 rolls I've had that isn't combat.
Yeah, because those nat ones I rolled on the same bloody attack roll. But no, you turn
been a
around
lot of
and then
fun.
like the dust from the hobgoblin suddenly just gets in your eyes and just yeah. But yeah, you're up. This hobgoblin is dead. There's a Rakshasa and another hobgoblin left.
She's going for the kitty.
All right, attack kitty.
Not attack kitty.
I will say. Does that hit? Let me check. No, it does not. The first hit, unfortunately, doesn't hit. The other one, she's bashing away the shield, but you can feel like there's a give as you're like almost forceful enough to dig into the shoulder as she's bracing. This sadly, the third one, the sword comes up and bashes your hand away.
But she will look at Remus, and you can tell that she's a unhappy dog, kind of. You can see that something is bothering her. Like they killed her thing. The one thing they were like, oh, you can take that one, and not like, no, I wasn't allowed to. Never mind.
All right.
Fine. As he sees that, Remus will basically call out and say, "Oh, thanks for the help." Almost encouraging you to carry on attacking the cat.
All right.
Yeah, she's just like snarling at this cat like a dog would. Very
Alright.
frightening.
The captain is. Let me do something real quick. All right. Captain is going to look to you, Remus, and then look over to the Rakshasa, and gonna throw his sword away and just book it away from Remus.
Okay.
So you do get an opportunity attack if you want it.
Of course, I would like it. Yes, I would like it.
17 does hit.
It's another 12 damage.
How do you want to do it?
So as he throws his sword down and turns to run, Remus will kind of just do this quite casual swing, and as it does, it kind of takes it in the hip as it's moving towards him, and just kind of like somehow managed to rip through his stomach and his hip slightly, and then that's what kind of he collapses to the ground in pain.
Yeah. You see him just go down on his knees, grab it, and just a quick gasp before just face plant. Oren.
Oren is going to get a little bit brave and oops, I'm still on thingy. Give me a second. He's going to come up to just about here. So he's still got a lovely meat shield. And he is going to say to the Rakshasa, just, it's pretty much over. But if you're willing to talk, I may be willing to give you the, how to word this, benefit of a quick death.
There will be no quick death here, though I am willing to talk.
No quick death, huh?
No.
What's all this about?
If you promise to keep mum about it, I can probably rope you in.
Go on.
Swear to it first.
I promise to say nothing.
Give me a persuasion check. Or deception. Your choice.
Let's see. I need to be off my spells. That's a 20.
Alright. She's going to take a half step back from you, Flo and Remus. Like, she doesn't leave your range, but she's gonna sheath the sword. And just... Alright. You killed my collaborators.
Yes. You're not the first Rakshasa we've dealt with recently either.
Is that so? Well, if you must know, the Lords of Dust have taken an interest in Droam and would like the daughters of Sorakel disposed of. I wouldn't expect you to take on those three, but perhaps you can do us a favor.
To it. Wait, the daughters of Sorakel, they're nasty pieces of work?
Those are the three that rule Droam right now. Sora Katra, Sora Maenya, and Sora Terasa.
Yes. And they're hags, yes?
Yes, they are.
So they're generally nasty pieces of work?
To the people or the citizens of Droam, they are benevolent rulers. To basically everyone else, they're hags.
Query.
Yes.
Much like my mother.
Would would adiosing those 3 get me points with the goddess that I am indebted to? Or would she be even more pissed off at me for going rogue and spoiling plans?
From what you know of the goddess you're indebted to, it's a hard balance because the daughters of Sorakel are generally a benevolent force for the people in Droam, but they are hags. And give me an intelligence check.
Oh, I hate you.
I know, but this is just you trying to work something out in the moment.
That is a 3.
From what you know of your goddess, getting rid of bad people is what she likes. That is what you can get in this like split second trying to work things out.
I'm listening.
Well, we have
And I'm not opposed to a little wet work.
Well, then first, I have a mission for you. All of you, if you're interested. And she looks over at Remus. Just bloodied. Cut by her sword. Just... We can still fight if you want to.
I mean, if you want to fight him, I really could use another striped rug for the bottom of the cart.
How much does Remus remember of the Lords of Dust? Or recognize the reference?
Give me a... Ooh, what would that be?
I just assume that Oren wouldn't know about that since he is not from here.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What would it be? It would be a...
Oh, don't stand on
history or religion check. The DC is 10.
Okay. I mean...
You've still got Bardic, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
I mean, it's also a 17, so
yes.
I'll take it.
All right, so
Get the tail off me.
double checking so I get this right because the Lords of Dust are a pretty big deal in Eberron. There we go.
There's a second question as well. Whilst he's contemplating that, which would be, would he have also Lords of Dust? Would he have had any previous interactions with the Sisters of Sorakel, and almost like personal interactions of their actions outside of Droam?
All right. For your first question, Remus, you do remember that Lords of Dust are demon lords.
Mm-hmm.
They rule the demon wastes just north of where you're currently at. And
they're the CEOs of the Hoover Company.
And they generally try to... They are conquerors. They try to move into other lands. They try to take advantage of the last war to move their positions into other areas. but right now they are generally contained to the Demon Wastes, which is north of the Shadow Marshes and Droam. But the Lords of Dust are high-ranking Rakshasa types, and they rule the Demon Wastes with an iron claw. Like, that's what you remember with the 17 in history. You haven't had reason to interact with them yourself. You haven't, you haven't been to the Demon Wastes because the blade marks don't go there. It's like generally seen as an incredibly bad idea to go to the Demon Wastes. The blade marks have had dealings, like encounters with the daughters of Sorakel. It is generally believed that Sorakel herself is a night hag who is half demon. The Daughters of Sorakel is a coven that was created during the last war to take advantage of the fact that everyone else was distracted. So they created this haven for what the rest of Cover considered monstrous creatures. Minotaurs, centaurs, tieflings, werewolves, all kinds of shifters and all of that. And as long as you are friendly, well, not necessarily friendly, as long as you're not hostile towards anyone living in Droam, they are not hostile to you. Unless you are the Church of the Silver Flame. But that's really as much as you can get with the 17. All three of these rulers, there are a bunch of myths and legends around these three hags. But you know that Sorakatra is generally the face of the coven. You've met her when she dropped off Oren. Sora Mainya is the military commander of Droam. And Sora Terasa is the diviner. She's the one seeing the future of the land. And these three combined are incredibly powerful. I also say that because you were part of the Blade Marks, you know that House Sarask is basically the only dragon-marked house that deals with the Daughters of Sorakel. All the others are like, we're not touching that shit.
Yeah. So I feel like Remus is standing there kind of going, look, almost he's got this, it's a right mental toss-up because it's like, I understand that Sorakel's, the perception of people from the Daughters of Sorakel. However, they've caused no harm to him. However, fully aware that the Lords of Dust are not necessarily the best things in the world. And I vaguely recall us having a conversation with the Coatl about demons bad, demons on the rise, terrible idea, right? So I'm sitting here going, I really think Remus wants to carry on fighting this Rakshasa.
Yep.
If you were to tell Oren this in his head, he would definitely concede.
I don't think he is. He's raging, so I don't quite think he is.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose at this point he's probably not raging, given how long this has been. But I think he's just going to strike out.
All right.
And carry on the fight.
It's up to you, Oren.
And Oren wouldn't know about these Dust Lords, right?
Not with that intelligence check, no.
No.
You don't like you recognize the name, but you can't place it. Not in this like quick fire trying to recall things.
I'm going to roll a. I'm not sure what I would roll here. But it would be sort of a self-preservation kind of. If I kill this creature, can I use this information to my advantage? Can I get the party ahead? Kind of thing. Like I've got extra information now. Is leaving them alive a thing that I would do? What would I roll to determine that?
I'd say you can either choose a straight up wisdom check or an insight check.
I will roll insight.
Yeah.
That is a 16. I imagine that would tell him that he doesn't necessarily need this Rakshasa to be alive, right?
Yeah. So, with the 16, in this situation, leaving the Rakshasa alive could cause more damage right now to the party. But keep continuing the fight. You can see how hurt Remus is from, and you remember how hurt you were by. But those were 4 of them. This is 1.
Yes.
So you know that it's going to cause pain now, but not as much as leaving her alive might. But you.
So what he would like to do is come up to her.
Yep.
Reach out his hand to shake.
Mm-hmm.
Pull her in.
All right.
And whisper in her ear, nothing, as he casts Antagonize.
Okay. I like that.
He didn't lie.
No, he didn't.
That
one's dead.
So yeah, she will need to make a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. What level is Antagonize?
Level 3.
Okay. Well, that's a 3.
Okay, so he has done 11 damage to her, which is fair. And she now has disadvantage on her next attack.
All right. Let me see. Attribute.
So that's action.
HP.
And then bonus action, he's going to Bardically Inspire Flow.
Ooh.
48. Okay. Save.
Yeah, just... I tire of her, he says to Flo.
All right. Remus.
Isaac and a smacky smack.
Alright.
Smacky smack.
I will continue to attack recklessly because he's in that type of mood.
Okay. 24 will hit.
Okay, cool. That is 15 damage total, but I believe they're resistant to some of that because it's not a magical weapon.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you smack. Do land the hit. It deals decent amount of damage, but not as much as you would have hoped.
Cool. And then second smack.
Also hit.
27. For the same damage.
Nice.
Nice.
You see her reeling a bit and starting to reach for the longsword again. For another second. There we go. And she's starting to look really hurt.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. And what I'll do is just take a deep breath as he settles into the combat again and uses second wind to regain 4 health points.
Nice. Okay.
I should probably heal you next round.
It's fine. I'm on just over half health. I'm good.
All right. Let's roll a d6. Sorry, Remus. This is gonna come for you.
Oh, the stupidest cat.
1, 2 was Oren. 3, 4 was Flo. 5, 6 was Remus.
that's fine. So don't forget this will be normal rather than a disadvantage because it was attacking recklessly.
Yes. So she's gonna whirl around, once again look at you, Remus, and first one is a 21.
Yes, that will hit.
Second one is a 25.
Yes, that will hit.
And third one is a 20.
Yes, that will also hit.
And so the first one is 11 to 5 plus. I need you to make me a strength check.
Strength check or strength save?
Strength save. Sorry, strength save. For
That's 18.
18 is fine. You are not pushed away. You feel that, like, the power of that strike again, trying to push you away, but you manage to hold your ground as the first attack digs deeper in for 15 down to 7. Second is a 6 halved to 3. And the third one is 9 halved to 4.
Nice.
So she basically just turns from Oren, swings around, and just 3 quick jabs once again. And she's gonna lift the sword and just, her gaze flits from Oren to Flo to Remus, back around and around. Cryon.
What?
Your turn.
Oh, fuck. Right.
Yeah, we're all getting
Yes.
a bit tired.
No, quit that. I'm happy to just.
My cat is getting a bit tired, but I'm fine.
Yeah, that should be
I
fine.
really want to say the word out loud, but I'm not allowed to say it out loud.
No.
Where is he? Yeah, done. He's awake.
Ferocious feline.
Alright.
This should count as line of sight and not risking other
Yeah,
people's
yeah, yeah.
business.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you stupid cat.
And considering he's not within melee range,
Uh-huh.
and considering he doesn't necessarily have too many other useful
Don't
things,
fight me.
he's going to attempt a. Well, actually, he's going to throw. He's going to hurl a chromatic orb at it.
Alright. Unfortunately...
Oh, no. I know that, but that's still going that direction. Whatever happened when it lands.
You hurl the chromatic orb towards the Rakshasa, and
Yes.
as she's looking back and forth between the three, you see her gaze suddenly swap over to Ukraine as she spins around with the shield and just bashes it away. And you can see like the shield starting to splinter from the power of the chromatic orb.
Ooh.
But alas,
Yes.
no cigar.
Flo.
Did you say flow?
Yes, Flo.
Okay. 1 and a 2 and a 3.
All 3 hit.
Nice.
A 1 and a 2 and a 3.
What is that again? Let me... as you slash towards this creature, just as with the other ones, it seems to deal a lot more damage than you thought it would. So, Flo, how do you want to do this? As she's distracted by Kraren, bashing that away, and you manage to just... as she's trying to bring the shield around to block.
Because she heard what every word she was saying, right?
Yes.
I will let everyone make a perception check who's close to Flo.
Alright, so Oren and Remus.
Yep, I'll do that now. Yeah, perception. I've got a +4 to perception. That's an 8. It's not very good at all. Rude.
Let's see. Where the fuck is it?
What you
I
looking
can
for?
read. You don't see anything.
Alright, so
So basically, you can see the claws digging into the shoulder as she basically gets her whole jaw around her neck and just rips off the head. And she doesn't stop there. She's basically just like you can see her ripping everything. Like after the shoulder, she just starts ripping her apart. And Remus, you will get a lot of blood on you, and so will poor Oren with his white clothes, basically, as she rips this thing apart.
you see the bits just flying everywhere, and then you see it like before the Rakshasa starts melting into the ground.
Oren has moved away and is prestidigitating himself clean because ew.
And after the thing has like settled down, and
Yeah.
you can just like after she stands up and all both her legs again, and you can just hear the mightiest howl. You have never heard like a werewolf howl up close. It rings in your ears.
Okay, I need to write something down for next time. And I think on that note, with that howl ringing out over the plains of Droam, echoing slightly between the hills and dales, we are going to be wrapping this session because we went over time.